Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and this is The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. Welcome in. And today we are going to talk with Ray Solano up in Cedar Park, Texas, with PD Labs Compounding Pharmacy, who also works with me in the Laval Performance Health Center. And we have a couple of topics we want to address with you today. Welcome in, Ray. And we're going to talk a little bit again about weight loss because everybody is looking for the semaglutide or the tirzepatide and, kind of spending a lot of money going everywhere looking for the cheapest and, what they can kind of get away with. And so I know you and I wanted to address that a little bit today. Welcome in.
Oh, yes. It's unfortunate when everybody is gravitating to that side like sheep, right?
Yes.
And unfortunately, I've been around long enough to see where this movie is.
Yes, exactly. How does the story end?
So what are we on, the fourth fad now that I've experienced in our lifetime?
Yes.
And what always happens at the end of the experiment or the fad, people gain all the weight back that they had before.
Yes.
They're actually unhealthier than they were before.
True.
And some of the critics said, I told you so. There's no shortcut to getting to the optimal weight. So I'd like to just appeal to everybody that's really concerned with the most important thing to get their health back together again is to reduce their weight because of all the comorbidities, symptoms that does occur. But there's a better way of doing it. And I think that what you do in your practice is you're considered to me my expert because you've been through this and you've done it, right?
Done it. Yes.
And the combination in partnership with a clinical pharmacy team with a functional medicine provider, I believe is going to guarantee people's long-term success.
Absolutely.
Optimal health, right?
Right.
And to be able to permanently change their weight so that it doesn't ever come back.
What about patients ask me when we, first sit down to talk about getting these prescriptions, because I do prescribe them, and I just try to prescribe them more appropriately and do this program more appropriately. Try to pick good candidates. Try to work with people, coaching them, on a appointment basis after hours. I spend from 5 o'clock at night till 10 o'clock at night, 5 days a week, working with people after my clinic. And, to try to coach them to understand how their health and lifestyle needs to be approached using something like this as a tool to help them, suppress appetite and start the weight loss, but not look at it as a long-term solution. What is the long-term solution? Lifestyle and improving gut and things like that, which we'll talk about. But a lot of times patients will ask me about the compounding pharmacy side. It's not made by the pharmaceutical, so how can I trust? What is a compounding pharmacy, and how can I trust it?
Well, that's always a good question. Trust, and we're pharmacies are not knockoffs of drugs. They're the most regulated industry, I think, that is out there because
regulated.
There's every single three-letter agency is somebody that we have to report to.
Exactly.
And the compounding pharmacies can only buy by their state laws from FDA registered manufacturers.
Right.
So the manufacturers of the drugs bulk materials have to be a FDA registered manufacturer, or they can't really buy the drugs. So that's number one. And number two is you're dealing with professionals that follow very, very strict protocols that make sure that they don't harm patients. Harming patients is illegal.
Unethical, illegal.
Unethical, and all the above. So knowing who the reputation of your providers is so important, especially if you're choosing a physician and choosing a pharmacy that's been around for quite a long period of time, and the ownership. It's really important, but that's where the safety comes into fact. Many pharmaceutical drugs, as a pharmacist, we would we would say, I don't think I take this drug. It has lots of side effects, right? Yeah. It's not my favorite, but unfortunately, that's okay. But we don't make any compounded medications that we would say we would never take it. Sure. I mean, we trust in the things that we make it's better. So I think that's important.
Absolutely. And so you touched on something before we actually hit the cameras here that I would love for you to reiterate with the audience. And that is the use of the medications. Of course, there's lots of great ways to use the medication. There's lots of great patients who qualify for them. There's lots of great patients who don't. And some of the underlying health issues that patients have need to be addressed before they even think about weight loss. I mean, to straighten out their long-term issues, why they gained weight in the first place. So we had addressed that with us.
Well, I think it didn't happen overnight. Right. A lot of these conditions, you just don't wake up one day and you gain 30 pounds. Right. And there's usually a reason for it. There are sometimes things out of your control, an illness, many of viral infections causes this chain of events that you can't undo. However, you need to know where things went wrong. And it's a little bit of detective work. And then also, many times your body is doing things that are making it worse. Sometimes we've had patients that come in and their blood sugar levels are off the chart. Okay, they are having, and sometimes we're finding that their gut issues, that they're having a dysbiosis of bacteria or an infection that is causing the problem. And the scary part about it is if you don't discover these underlying problems, could be a systemic mold infection, just getting on one of these drugs is not only going to make it worse, it is just going to be a temporary fix. So you need to be able to be screened for these things. You need to be able to work as part of a program. I think it's a minimum of 3 months as a program. Right. to go through this. And even if you start on the program, there has to be some foundational changes to be able to get your elimination channels correct. Make sure that you're as healthy in your gallbladder, liver, and kidney, suffering from the correct elimination pathways are all done. And guess what? You may have to stop buying some of those foods that are causing the problem in the first place. We do know that the good thing is with these drugs, your appetite for all types of foods is probably tremendously diminished. Okay?
Yes.
But
wiped out, actually.
But when you stop, what happens is that many times people say, well, I'll eat the paint off the walls.
It's true. It is. I lived that.
Okay. So So we don't want that to happen.
Absolutely.
If you've gone down 3 dress sizes or 4 pant sizes, you don't want to go back to that.
No, but you will if you don't fix that underlying. So you can lose all of that, but then turn around and gain it all right back if you don't fix the underlying problem. Yeah. Many of the patients that have started on the medication come back and say, oh, I had the side effect of acid reflux or constipation or diarrhea. And I'm like, how can you get constipation or diarrhea at the same, from the same medication? That's not a side effect. That is a sign that your gut is very unhealthy. And taking this uncovered that, and that is what's probably making you overeat and preventing you from losing weight. In fact, helping you gain weight. And so, those are the things that need to be addressed. You can diminish your appetite all you want. You're not going to be successful long term if you don't fix that underlying issue.
And the amount of money it costs for long-term care as we get older.
Yeah.
It's the cost of the skyrocketing cost of Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson, all these chronic conditions, diabetes. The cost of diabetes and high blood pressure is enormous. What is your quality of life that you're looking at? And if you're over, it takes almost 20 years for some of these conditions to really occur. So I think it's important for people to make that investment. It seems like we spend how many thousands of dollars for concerts these days?
Oh, yeah. And our phones.
Our phones.
We buy a $1,200 phone, to
dollar phone. Okay, so there's been an inflation.
Right.
But would you spend that money on your health? And it's unfortunate. People think that, well, that's what my insurance is for. No, that's not true. So it's a rationale that make the investment in your health, because it'll save you so much money. Because I can't imagine being 80 or 90 years old taking 12 medications, but that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely. So what kind of things do you have through the pharmacy? What things do you offer and we offer? I'll say that as a we, because it's something we do together, but you offer for other physicians as well.
Well, as a partnership together, we do we have a great screening questionnaire. It's a 5-minute questionnaire. It's free. You can go on our website, lavalperformance.com, or just give us a call, 512-219-0782. We'll direct you to that, because we do answer the phone, and give people the directions. Fill out a questionnaire. See what are some of the glaring things that you should be concerned with, and see if this is a program that you'd be interested in. And then we help your office so that we can pre-screen some of the patients and say, this is probably a good candidate for the program. If not, we may just make some tweaks in their system that when they're ready and their changes in their diet, then we'll be there for them. But I think this is to minimize the cost and minimize the time for professionals. There's some preliminary things people can do.
Right.
And that we see the biggest 3 items that people ignore. It's alcohol, it's excessive sweet carbohydrates, and sugar. Okay. And we're going to have a lot of that in 2 weeks, right?
Oh, yeah. Here we are. What's the term that you've coined in the past? We're in the stretch.
Sugar is right around halftime, and just look out.
Right.
Because you're going to have it, and everybody's going to go, well, I will take care of it in the new year. Well, that's just 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Why start then? So moderation is probably the best thing, because it's really difficult to turn around that ship.
It is. This is true. The Super Bowl of sugar is where we are. It starts with Halloween, goes all the way to Valentine's Day, maybe Easter. And,
that's right. See, then, because you know what? They're still putting the Valentine's Day. Everything's going out Valentine's Day in a week. Okay? Huh. So get ready. So
exactly.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? I think people just take a first step.
Yes.
Just make a phone call.
You mentioned at the beginning the fads. You're on your 4th fad, which is, who knows how many there's been. And so we had the HCG thing for a while.
Let's go back further.
Go back for a while. And,
it was the Atkins.
And the Atkins, for that. A new diet, a new pill, a new vitamin, a new supplement of some sort.
Supplement.
Always some. And now it's the semaglutides, the peptides. And so there's always good. The industry, I make the joke that the same industry that's trying to save us is the same industry that's trying to kill us. And it is a new, something new out, a new fad out to make a lot of money off of. And if you go back and you look at all those 2 a.m. commercials where they're selling you something, they're not around in 6 months. They make a killing. And then they tuck that back, and then they come up with the new fad, then make a killing there, and just keep reinventing themselves. So people fall for that in their desperation to lose weight, they fall for all these fads and spend a lot of money. And, to turn around and spend your money in a place where you have a physician who's willing to work with you, willing to prescribe meds if necessary that are, used appropriately, but also work with you to fix the underlying reason for your weight gain in the first place. And that is where the money, and most people, like you said, want to go through their insurance. Well, insurance does not want to pay for that. They will not pay for that. So, that is not something that's available. But, they will spend their money on a $1,200 program to lose weight in 3 months. And then after that program's over in 3 months, turn around, gain it all back and look for the next fad. So that's a habitual problem that people have got to stop and become, disconnect themselves from.
And it's just, you have to make that choice.
You have to make that choice.
You have to make that choice. But I think the first thing is take some baby steps.
Right.
And we'll help in partnership with your office to have people take the baby steps.
Absolutely.
But I think that the biggest waste of time and money is the quick fix. People looking for the most inexpensive package drug. Selling the drug is the worst thing you could do.
Absolutely.
I think, I just got off of a conference call with a group of pharmacists around the country, and everybody is scattering just to be able to put together the best package for the price of the drug. And I go, excuse me, how much time are you putting in there for the training and the diet and the lifestyle training? Absolutely. They said, we're leaving that up to the practitioner's office. Well, I said, guys, last time I've seen that they're leaving it up to you because they don't have the time to do it. So you know what? It's not happening.
It's not happening.
So it's unfortunate that there is absolutely no pre-screening qualification to take these medications.
Sure. So we are going to direct people, got just a few seconds here before we take a quick break, and I'm going to direct people to look you up at pdlabsrx.com. And you can go to my website at drpbetterlife.com. You are well represented there, and anybody can find you and the Laval Performance Health Center and the pharmacy and information on the program as well. And so drpbetterlife.com, as well as all of our other shows. We've got a lot of them out there. We've been doing this over 2 years now. So we're going to take a short break and come right back and discuss this a little further.
Hi, this is Ray Solano with your Healthy Choices Minute, sponsored by Prescription Dispensing Labs. New research has concluded that implementing dietary changes could prevent gut inflammatory processes involved in some chronic diseases. Modulation of your gut microbes through diets enriched with vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and a higher intake of plant over animal foods has a potential to prevent intestinal inflammatory conditions at the core of many chronic diseases. In short, the foods we eat in our dietary patterns have a major influence on our immune system that can cause many conditions we are suffering from today. Solution: try our OptiMeal shake. Our team has developed the best tasting, healthiest shake you've ever experienced to control blood sugar and to improve your gut. Start your day today with a healthy choice. Call us today at 888-909-0110 for a free sample of the OptiMeal shake. 888-909-0110. Remember, you have a choice in healthcare.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Marianne Pinkston. Welcome back. And I'm with Ray Solano from PD Labs up in Cedar Park, Texas. Somebody you know very well, has been with me for a couple of years now, supported the show. And we have a great relationship, Ray, and we do a lot of different topics. We're going to take a little bit of a turn right now away from weight loss and talk about the winter season now, which is the viral season. You know, with all the vaccines and things that we have, there's a lot of bacterial infections that have disappeared and have left us with a ton of virus infections that can plague us and our immune systems because we're all stressed or down. And I know you've got some information for us on how to protect your immune system and build up and avoid these viruses.
Well, we unfortunately believe we're bulletproof when we get together. And everybody is going to get together for Christmas and New Year's and holidays. And guess what? They will come down with a virus again because we see these super bugs that we've never seen before. But there are some things you have to have that I think that have really give you a solution. We've took the active ingredient in green tea called EGCG and put it in a special tablet that's chewable that is a very potent antiviral. Taking 3 to 6 a day at the worst case can really turn it around and keep you out of the hospital because these are for some serious viruses. And then also adding the acetylglutathione to it on top of it that's also chewable. And then and it may be 50,000 units of vitamin D3 along with it for a short period of time, or even 100,000 if it's a bad cough for a week. This will keep you making sure that you don't get worse because your body has this, they call it a cytokine storm. Your body's trying to fix itself, and it fixes yourself and puts you in a hospital because you can't breathe. So, this is something when you get the first little sneeze or a little scratchy throat, start taking a couple of these and you'll be fine, and just ignore these viruses. But this is something you can try. Go to our website, LavalPerformanceHealth.com. You can go call our pharmacy, PDLabsRx.com, and we can get some of these to you right away. But, I had many physicians that called me just the other day and said, I need some right away because everybody comes over to my house. They're sick. I give them my own stock and I have none. And I was the same way. I just went to Las Vegas for the show and 3 people got sick and I gave all my stuff away.
You sure did. So me included to me.
Here. And I got nothing. Right. But don't leave home without it. Please. It's important to give the antidote to these viruses, but don't wait to get sick because these things don't work very well when you're already ill.
Absolutely. What do you think about zinc? I get asked that a lot.
Zinc is definitely important as a carrier for especially these other items. If your zinc levels are low, then your antiviral immunology proteins are not being made properly. So zinc is definitely important for virus control. And what it does is it works in combination with everything else. So you don't want to be low in zinc. You don't want to be low in vitamin D. You don't want to be low in vitamin A because these opportunistic infections just take over. And they move fast. In 12 hours, it could make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And so with the ECGC and the glutathione, can they go to the website and just buy it, or do they need a prescription?
You can buy it on the website. They don't need a prescription. And we do combinations for some people that have been, we found some of the antivirals have been very helpful as well, prescription medications. Right. So we have lots of choices, but we don't want people to suffer because of and ruin their holiday.
Absolutely. What about the allergies? Cedar is really high in San Antonio, South Texas right now. Do you have anything that helps with cedar?
We did. We've got a number of different formulas that we've come up with that stop the body's mast cell from being produced. So it's really important as the combinations here. We can tailor that for you. We've got some new ones that we're coming up with, some unique peptides as well.
Been busy.
It is. But yeah, just if you're suffering from cedar, give us a call and we can put together a protocol that will be best for you. It may take a couple of things. Sometimes just raising of your vitamin D levels makes a huge difference as well.
Absolutely. So you have a new clinic up in Cedar Park. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our new facility is 7,500 square foot new facility that has a pharmacy and a lifestyle medicine clinic all together into one.
Yes.
So the two of them are not separated by a building. They're one big center of excellence. And we have clinical pharmacists on staff, as well as being overseen by there's a medical provider. I don't know her name.
I am medical director, absolutely.
Medical, yeah.
And the premier name behind the Laval Performance Health Center as provider there, Jim Laval, who is
written 22 books. He has some very unique protocols that shortcut solutions to people's health and gets them better quicker. So that's what we do.
Yes, great. I'm glad you mentioned that. And of course, you and I have done plenty of shows. We do this once a month and have for the last couple of years. So you can find all of their information and all of our previous shows, plus some of my other shows with my other providers and famous names in integrative medicine at drpbetterlife.com. Please visit. We have, I've got some social media information there. Also have a blog. I need to get on that blog. I tell you what, busy days, I've ignored it, but I do have some great ones from the past. And also, like I say, just the previous shows and information, drpbetterlife.com. And so I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday season, Ray. I always appreciate you and what you and your staff and everybody does up there in Jim. So have a great holiday, everybody out there. Any last thoughts?
Just check out our website. We're going to have a seminar series coming up on hormone replacement therapy. Right. It's going to be the 19th, I believe, 19th of January. Check out our website, lavalperformance.com, and you'll see Dr. Chanel Roberts will be putting this on.
Right.
And we want people to be educated in so many areas of their medicine. So we're going to have an ongoing seminar series for everybody at no charge.
That's great. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, you too. Take care.